I'm Judith Kingsbury from SavvyVegetarian.com. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to make hummus. Just plain, ordinary hummus. Nothing fancy. Usually I make hummus with olive oil. This time I'm going to try making no added oil hummus. So instead of heating my spices in olive oil, I'm going to heat them in a dry frying pan. Heating the spices gets rid of that raw taste that they have. Just takes a couple minutes, just roasting them a little bit. I'm using about 2 cups of home-cooked garbanzo beans. I'm going to drain them. It'll be equal to a little more than a can of garbanzo beans drained. I'm going to add some of the bean cooking liquid. Not all of it. Don't want to make it too wet. And then some tahini, maybe a 1/4 cup of tahini. You can add more or less just as you like. Some people like garlic in hummus. A couple of cloves usually is enough. Maybe 4 if you're a big garlic fan. Here's my spices. They're smelling pretty roasted. Throw them in there too. Add a little lemon juice, about 2 tablespoons, some pepper, put the lid on, and start whizzing it. Now in a food processor, it might not get as smooth, but the big advantage of a food processor is that it's a lot easier to get the hummus out of the food processor than it is to get it out of a blender. So I use a food processor and just whiz it for a longer time. It's been whizzing for a while. Let's see how it's doing. Still a little rough texture-wise. Could use a bit more salt. Actually, what it could use is a little bit more spices. A little more cumin. A little more coriander. Give it a chance to roast a bit. Could use a bit more lemon juice, I think. Maybe just a bit more tahini in there. Another tablespoon. Okay, add these spices in here. Okay, let's whiz it some more. Well, it's looking pretty good. Let's see how it is. Oh yeah, that's good. Here's a container that I'm going to put it in. Pour it in there. About 3 cups of hummus right there with that recipe. I ended up putting in about 1/3 cup of tahini, 2 cups of chickpeas, 4 to 6 tablespoons of the cooking liquid, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, a teaspoon of cumin and 2 teaspoons of coriander heated in a frying pan, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and pepper. And that's it. There's plenty of oil in the tahini, so it really won't suffer from not having oil added. 40 calories per teaspoon of oil. If I added a tablespoon of oil, that would be 120 extra calories in this 2 cups of hummus. Less than 1/2 teaspoon of oil per serving. I'll put this in the fridge. It'll keep for up to a week. Thanks for joining me to make hummus. Enjoy your hummus, and see you next time.